pizza place had my number on their flyers, so I started taking orders and got their manager fired. This happened when I was 16 and finally got my first cell phone. I was so excited to have my own number that I gave it to everyone at school. But 2 weeks later, I started getting calls every single night asking to order pizza from Tony's Italian Kitchen. At first, I was polite about it. Hey, sorry, wrong number, and I'd hang up. But these people would call back immediately yelling that I was lying because they were calling the number right off their takeout flyer. One lady called me 4 times in a row at 9 p.m. on a school night, screaming that her kids were hungry and demanding I take her order for 2 large pepperonis. So I walked over to Tony's and grabbed one of their flyers from the stack by the register. Sure enough, my cell phone number was printed right there under call for delivery. I asked to speak to the manager, and this big guy in a grease-stained apron came out. I showed him the flyer and explained the problem. He looked at me like I was some stupid kid trying to scam free pizza. That's our delivery line. We've had it for 3 years. I pulled out my phone and said, okay, then call it right now. He refused and kept insisting it was their number. When I asked him to prove it by calling, he got all defensive and told me to get out before he called my parents. That's when I decided to get creative. I went home and told my dad what was happening. He was furious, but said it would take weeks for the phone company to sort it out. So I came up with my own solution. Every time someone called asking for pizza, I started taking their orders. Tony's Italian Kitchen, how can I help you tonight? I'd answer in my most professional voice. Then I'd take whatever they wanted. Want 3 large pizzas delivered at midnight on a Tuesday? Absolutely. Family reunion order for 15 pizzas this Saturday during their lunch rush? Consider it done. Birthday party for 30 people wanting pizza delivered to the park? Perfect. Within 10 days, their Google reviews were a complete disaster. People were showing up to pick up orders that didn't exist. Families were waiting 2 hours for deliveries that never came. One review said they confirmed an order for their son's baseball team, only to arrive and find out the restaurant had no record of it. My favorite was when this dad called wanting to surprise his daughter's sleepover with pizza at 11 p.m. I enthusiastically confirmed 6 large pizzas with all different toppings for delivery. Apparently, 8 teenage girls spent the entire night waiting up for pizza that never arrived, and he had to drive to McDonald's at midnight instead. The best part was listening to the real manager try to explain to furious customers that their confirmed orders weren't real. People were demanding refunds for pizzas they never got. Some threatened to report them to the Better Business Bureau. The restaurant had to comp so many free meals to angry customers who'd been burned. After about 3 weeks of this chaos, I got a call from someone different. Not the grease-stained apron guy, but his boss from corporate. He was super polite and asked if I was the person who'd been taking their pizza orders. When I said yes, he apologized like 15 times and promised they'd fix the flyers immediately. Turns out the manager had been telling corporate the phone problems were being handled while doing absolutely nothing about it. He'd been lying to his bosses for weeks, saying he was working with the phone company to resolve the issue. He got fired that afternoon, and they hired a new manager who actually knew how to handle problems. They even offered me a part-time job when I turned 17 as an apology, which was pretty cool since I'd basically proven I was better at taking orders than their actual staff. The funniest part? The new flyers came out 2 days later with the correct number, and I never got another pizza call. But I kept some of the old flyers as proof of the most ridiculous 3 weeks of my life.